Naomi number 5, written by Brian Michael Bendis and David F. Walker, art by Jamal Campbell. So this Naomi book, it's been very mysterious. There's been lots of questions and lots of mystery. And in this issue, we have tons of answers. Probably this is the most important issue of Naomi to read because they sort of lay it all out and explain everything. Unfortunately, the way it's explained is a lot of just exposition dumping and tons of text on the page. So much text, so much reading, and so much not very fun reading. So while I enjoyed the answers, the way they presented the answers was not the ideal way to do it. It was kind of a boring way to reveal all the info, but nevertheless, let's see what the deal with Naomi is and what the deal with her origin is and what the whole thing is about. So, Naomi is talking to her friend Anna, and she's explaining everything she's learned. Also, Naomi has a cool new badass suit. Apparently, that little box last issue that Naomi's mom left for her, when Naomi touched it, it dissolved into her. Not really in a painful way, but it dissolved into her, and it created this voice in her head, the voice of her mother. And her dead mom's voice then exposition dumps everything about Naomi's origin and explains it to her and to us, the reader, and then also Naomi's explaining it to her friend Anna. So Naomi's mom was from an alternate universe, and on their Earth, the ozone layer fell or something through something they call the crisis. And, why did the ozone layer fall? Maybe through environmental neglect, it's hard to say. When the layer fell, weird radiations and energies that the Earth used to be shielded from then enveloped the world. It only lasted for a minute, and no one was hurt from this radiation, but for some reason, 29 random people all over the world got powers, randomly. And these are like pretty badass powers, godlike powers. All this power led to infighting and battling. Of the 29 people that got powers, 14 were killed in the battle. After this battle, 7 left the Earth in disgust and never came back. They were so pissed at this battle that happened and all the destruction that it brought. 8 people with powers remained. And they sort of called a truce before the Earth returned to ash. Now, one of the people who got powers was a bad guy, a mass murderer named Zumbado. And this Zumbado, before he got powers, was like a criminal. He was on his way to the electric chair for his mass murdering. But then when this crisis happened and the ozone layer fell and everyone got powers, he was one of the people that got these godlike powers. And with this, he took over most of the world and, just for the fun of it. And the remaining good people with powers were sort of forced take over other regions of the world and sort of rule them as like the lords of these lands, sort of as a way to stop this Zumbado from, continuing his rule over the rest of the world. So by controlling certain regions, they can stop this Zumbado from expanding. So Naomi's mom and dad were both people with these powers. Now, before they got powers, they were just normal people. The dad was a gaming software engineer, and Naomi's mom was a school teacher. But by being given these powers, they were forced to kind of defend the world from this Zumbado guy, because if not them, then there was no one else, so they sort of had to do it. And it's explained that these people with powers, they can't procreate with these normal people without powers. But, the mom and the dad, they sort of came together and they, had sex and whatnot, and they gave birth to Naomi. And Naomi was the first child born who was a product of both 2 powered parents. The first pure blood power. And this child pissed this Zumbado off, so he came to kill Naomi and try to prove his superiority. So the parents figured out a way to send Naomi to another world using one of their friends, Akira, and they were able to successfully send Naomi to the DC universe. So Naomi sort of finished telling this story to her friend, and then this issue ends with someone showing up from that alternate world who was waiting for Naomi this whole time to sort of plug into this new costume, this black box and all that, and all this stuff. And it gave this person, the signal and the info they needed to find their way to the DC universe. Now, Who is this person that appeared at the end? I'm not so sure. Is it this Zumbato person? It's hard to tell. Maybe it is. Maybe it's someone else. But we're going to have to sort of see where that goes next issue. So what I liked about this issue was we got a lot of answers. Like, now I know so much stuff. I know who Naomi's parents were. I know this whole complicated origin of their world. I don't know if I fully love the explanation of this other world. Like, I don't really care so much about it. Like, so I wasn't that enthralled by that. I also didn't like the way it was presented. It was just so much info dumping. So, I'm very mixed on this issue. I like the answers. I just didn't love what the answers were, and I didn't like how they were revealed. I'm going to give this issue a 7 out of 10.